Your mind is the most powerful thing you own, and most believers spend their whole lives fighting it instead of using it. I thought my mind was the enemy for years. Like the goal was to quiet it, tame it, just survive whatever it was throwing at me. So I tried more discipline, more willpower, more effort to push the bad thoughts out. Nothing changed. Not because I wasn't trying hard enough, but because I was fighting the wrong battle entirely. The Bible doesn't tell you to control your mind. It tells you to transform it. And those two things are nothing alike. If you've been wondering why the same thoughts keep coming back no matter what you do, stay with me, because the problem isn't your mind. It's the strategy. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Most people land on renewing and think discipline, positive thoughts, better mental habits. The word Paul actually chooses for transformed, metamorphoo. You might recognize it. It's the exact same word used in Matthew 17 when Jesus is transfigured on the mountain, face like the sun, clothes white as light, disciples face down on the ground. Paul didn't pick that word by accident, because metamorphoo doesn't describe something you do to yourself from the outside. It describes something that happens from the inside out. On that mountain, nobody upgraded Jesus. Something already true about him became visible. The transformation came from within. And Paul uses the same word for your mind. Not try harder, not discipline yourself into new thought pattern. There is a real transformation available to you that works from the inside out. And the door to it is the renewing of your mind through the word. Right before Paul says be transformed, he says don't conform. Most people read that as a warning about obvious sin, but conformity is quieter than that. The world conforms you through exposure. Every scroll, every news cycle, every conversation that keeps narrating a reality you weren't made for, it doesn't ask permission. It doesn't need your agreement. It just works through repetition over time until the world's voice starts sounding like your own thoughts. Here's what's changed everything for me. The word transforms you through the exact same mechanism: exposure, repetition, immersion in truth until truth becomes louder than everything else. You are always being conformed to something. The question is, what's doing the conforming? This is where Philippians 4 verse 8 stops being a motivational poster and starts being a practical tool. Because Paul doesn't just say think about good things. The Bible tells you exactly what those things are. 8 categories, an exact recipe, whatever is true. Not what anxiety is narrating, what God has said. Fear is a loud narrator. It tells convincing stories. Truth is louder, but only if you're feeding on it. Whatever is noble, worthy of your attention. Not every thought deserves the space you're giving it. Whatever is right by God's standard, not the culture's, not whatever feels right this week. Whatever is pure, clean, not mixed. A thought can start clean and get corrupted fast once you let bitterness or fear mix into it at the source. Whatever is lovely, things that draw you toward God, not away from him. Whatever is admirable, things you'd say aloud without shame, because if you wouldn't say it, it probably shouldn't be living in your head. Whatever is excellent, thoughts that move you toward better, not the ones that rehearse why you can't be. Whatever is praiseworthy, things that produce worship, genuine gratitude, and anxiety cannot occupy the same space. One always crowds out the other. What does this actually look like? In 2 Corinthians 10:5, we take every thought captive and bring it to obedience to Christ. I used to read that as suppression. Grab the bad thoughts, lock it down. But captive doesn't mean cage it. It means redirect it. You capture the thought and match it somewhere. You bring it to the truth. You measure it against what the Word of God says. And if it doesn't line up, you replace it. Not suppress it, replace it. Because you don't win this by fighting harder. You win it by feeding something better until the better thing starts winning on its own. Practically, you don't start your day wrestling anxious thoughts. You start by feeding on the word before the world gets its say. Word before phone. Not a rule, a decision about what gets first access to your mind that morning. Do that consistently, not perfectly, consistently, and what the Bible describes becomes reality. Your mind starts producing faith because that's what you've been feeding it. The default shifts because you've been renewing the default. You've been praying to God to quiet your mind, but He's been waiting for you to feed it. That's the whole thing. Management keeps you in the fight. Transformation changes the nature of it. Romans 12 verse 2 is a promise with a condition. The condition is the renewing. The promise is metamorphoo, change of form at the source, from the inside out, not you grinding toward a better mindset. God's truths doing from the inside what you could never do from the outside. Your mind was made for this. Start feeding it. If this opened something, share it with someone losing that battle. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.